That's the thing I needed to do. I hurt a train. I just damaged a train. Don't worry. We'll be fine. By the way, in case you haven't been here, in case you're new, the crawdad is completely immune to impact damage. Which means that it wins in a battle against a train every time. The train will take damage if it hits you head on in the crawdad. It's just one of those things. Until it gets stealth nerfed. And all of a sudden, you just immediately die. But anyway, there was another thing about this build. There was something else about this build. Oh yeah, it's the fact that once everything is like fully up and running, I will be consuming more manure than I am producing out of this build. So, yeah, about that. I'm stuck. Because this build makes 112, alright. Where are you? Here. So this build makes about 15 manure per second. As I bring everything that I've been building over these past several streams online, it's going to demand more than this in total. In particular, a lot of it is coming from the Yotoi build. Yeah, 7. Really close to 7 from the Yotoi build. And then another close to 4 on the Grodd itself as we go into this bedding, which, yeah, that's a bit. That's a bit of stuff. Also, I can basically ignore, like, most everything in this. I think I can just delete all of the things outside of this last piece. The drying of the Grodd, the processing of the leaves. Gosh, I wish I could just drag and drop. Like, Hellmod, get on that. I would rather drag and drop the stuff on this list, the recipe order. Wouldn't that be great if we could just drag and drop the recipes in this rather than have this stupidity of up and down arrows? That'd be great. That would be fantastic. But will it ever happen? No. Just nah. That won't ever happen. So yeah, we're basically gonna have this with one more step, which is that step. So that will be the bedding build. In the end, that will be the factory, and it will import the caged vrauk, the cocoons, the aloe, the grodd, and the fiber. That's what it will import. And it is a closed system on cages, so I don't need to import cages because I'll always have the same amount of cages in this system operating. And the hot air is made on site. I always just ignore this because it's this hot stone. It's closed loop on stone. Not that building. Why would you do this? Yeah, no. This building. Thank you. It just cycles between them 1-to-1, add pressured air, not that. That. Yeah, it's simple. In the end, this little setup, I just paste that down. So yeah, that's that build. I will not make cocoons on site. No, no. No. That is this build. I guess I need to hit refresh and add more modules at this point. So yeah, this is the plan for today. This is our goal today. By the way, after close to 50 minutes working on these updates to the machines, there's still one more machine to go after, so I'll start making my way over there. We're also almost at organ printing, stage 2, which is fantastic. That'll help a little bit. I think I am going to make builds for all of the creatures, even if it might be objectively better just to do organ printing on some of the items in the long run, just to show them and do them. So up here on the right. Oh, right, the Corlex as well. I forgot. So the not only did the Grodd and Relesia and Yotoi and vrauk changed, so did Corlex. It wasn't in that specific commit, though. It was actually an update that happened last stream, before the last stream, that wasn't in the update. The most recent update going into the last stream, so I knew it was coming. I knew it was on its way, but it should be live now. So there should be a thing with the Corlex as well to update. Interesting how it's only 1 on this Yotoi in this update. Just +1. Sure. I mean, I'll take it. That's a very minor change. Then I could just shove the excess into the doohickeys over here. Here, have some, excuse me, have. Oh. They're full. Well then, that was unexpected. Also, please don't take up a spot in my inventory because you're damaged. Okay, so yeah, that will be the build. It's going to produce 1 cocoon. I need like 0.84 going into the bedding. God, how do I know this off the top of my head? How does memory work, really? Because it's like, that's just a number that I just pulled out without really taking the time to consciously look at that number. I have gone a little distant. Did the 2 for a change as well? I think so. It's hard to remember now some of the older updates that need to be taken into account. This has not, so that is 5. Or it was, and then it ended up being 5. But the Corlex over here, that's the one that I need to look at. Not carrying around any extra Corlex at the moment, just because I need to know how many I need. Oh, this is not what I think it is. Is it? No, I need to go all the way up there. All the way up here to these guys. I mean, they're operating. By the way, King, that's another issue to fix is the you know, all the broken signals signs. Also, I will reiterate a few things. Oh, hey, it's a... I hit you. There you go. So, the icons on the map are not added by a mod. You push F4, and you scroll down to this little thingy here called Show Recipe Icons on Map, and tick that tick mark. Just the friendly reminder that this is a vanilla thing, part of the base game, no mod required. Just push F4 and scroll down to this particular option. While you're in here, also tick this option to show FPS and this option to show the debug info on the tooltips, and you'll be good. And of course, the other rather important point, you need modules of alien life to make more alien life in the buildings. The buildings will not work without modules. Thus exists the initial buildings, the initial recipes to make things like vrauk. To make things like caged vrauks. Not even caged, it's the Mark 1s. The Mark 1 vrauks, these are modules. In case you're new here, these are modules. And you will make your first module out of this recipe in a creature chamber that you will then use in a vrauk paddock as a module to start making more caged vrauk. Because I have been asked this now in recent memory. Alright, you need a few more modules. As I expected. So 15 more each. So 15 times 5. Oh boy. Ah, 15 times 5. Let's see, that's 75, I think. So let's see how many I've made at the mall. And also see how the state of the vrauk breeding program is going, and potentially also set up the, or look at the Yotoi breeding program while I'm down there. That's, I'm sure, going to be fun to look at. Please, rocks. Rocks, please! No, stop. I need to go this way. Right! We need to move right! Friendly reminder that this crushed quartz thing exists exclusively to make silicon wafers, I think. They're involved in the silicon. Alright, we have arrived. I have you moving, making... so I said I needed 75, right? I needed 75? You know, it's 15 times 5, yeah, 75. That's how many I needed. Yay! We did the thing. Do I want to fill this though? That's another good question. I'm pretty sure I am also doing this process. So, hey, there we go. This will fill the thing. What do you? So, caged Corlex stacks 250. Caged Corlex stacks to 50. Caged vrauk stacks to 50, or at least did. Oh, hey, look, more Corlex. Good. The caged dogs. Yeah, the caged dogs, they totally stacked to 500. I am sort of, yeah, these stack to 500. I'm sort of processing the current full production of these somehow. I am somehow processing all of the caged dogs. Apparently I have sufficient brains at the moment. We have some full chests here on brains. What is the not full? The guts. But of course, bones are looking okay. I'm not going to make more of those. The lard is fine. We have sufficient lard and bones. But insufficient guts. Well, the guts, I think, end up mostly being voided anyway, effectively. But, yeah. So. Let's head on over, grab stuff. I need to do the uncaging of the Corlex by hand. This is always, by the way, a fun situation. Notice how this number does not go down. $35. So, I have now uncaged all the Corlex. I can continue to cage and uncage to infinity. That's just how this works, right? That's just vanilla Factorio being vanilla Factorio. It will do this thing forever. It will cage them and then uncage them again. As long as you have cages in your inventory. My coffee is now gone for the rest of the day. I am slightly sad. So where did I leave my vehicle? Yeah, or the materials for the cages, right? So you can you will craft cages, and then you will cage the module, and then uncage to make the module again. Yep. And you will have made cages from the raw materials in your inventory. Welcome to Vanilla Factorio. Mechanics. Alright, let's head on over, update these Corlex, and then we can actually start working on the vrauk stuff and have a look at the breeding program for the Yotoi. Because I'm pretty sure I do not have enough Mark II vrauk modules at this moment in time. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I have at least 2 or 3 stacks. So at least 75. So, maybe. Maybe. I have the things. Alright. You, and you. We're good. How did that change things? So, this build is this. How did this change? If I look at you and go back to whichever of these is Corlex. There you are. There's your Corlex. That updates. It's still 5. It's still 5, so this didn't effectively change much. This particular modification only kept us the same because it's Mark 1. If it was Mark 2, it would be vastly different. Alright, back we go. Now, the factory on the vrauk cocoons is already done. Hello, organ printing 2. Where I could completely dodge making Vonix because venom glands are here, as well as Crydron. I could just completely dodge those, as well as the Scrondrix for the pineal glands, the Dingrits for the spikes and pelts, the Kamouts, and yeah, I don't think it would be good to do the gas bladders though. Just saying, could dodge the dancing armored cats, but we're not going to dodge the dancing armored cats. We're not going to dodge any of them. For reference, we'll be doing all this. Oh hey, Yadles. Shall I unlock Yadles? Because they have been changed to be available. And they are actually available now, the Yadles. So the initial recipe for them has been changed, so you can make them at this point. I don't know what the codex I can make as well. So, sure, I guess. I mean, I really don't like the concept of using fungal substrate, period. But anyway, how do I make titanium now? Okay, titanium is being made here. Titanium, I have grade 4, 3? Whatever this is. 4. Grade 4 processing on the titanium. I have not gone further than grade 4, so that would be stage 2. Yeah, I think. That would be the green science titanium. Yeah, right there. Up to here, not further than there. So it's not through molten. Yeah, not through molten, only through grade 4. And the reason is because it's the MIBC, the methyl isobutyl carbonyl, which, yeah, it's a pain. MIBC to do grade 4 into powdered and pulp 3 that you then can't do anything with yet. You can't do anything with the pulp 3 yet, so why bother? Why bother spending MIBC until you can actually use the grade 3 out, the stage 3 pulp? Otherwise, you get the powdered titanium, which you can process into enriched dust and rejects, which, again, you don't get a good recipe to use the rejects either. So yeah, this is... This is just one of those tricky situations where you will want to only go to grade 4 in this tech, and then get the next tech if you actually want to do molten, and then just go straight to the highest level of molten. Also, yeah, I'm not using any pipe mod. This is all all the pipes are either vanilla, iron, or added in the pie suite. All of them, including these multi-purpose piped grounds. These are relatively new, but they are new and part of the pie suite. And they have a piped ground distance of 30 something. 48. 48 is the max length on the multi-purpose piped grounds. And they're basically niobium pipes plus plastic and coal, or whatever the fuel carbon thing is. There's something else. It's strange, yes, but it's not with the titanium 3, not the pulp 3 not being used. Yes, it's strange, but there are a few places where that happens. There are a few places where that happens. Am I ever going to make special substrate to really make use of that? Probably not. But it's there, though. But it exists, though. Oh, right! I've forgotten this rather key point. So the Fat Eye, your dancing armored cats, require programmable speakers. And there's a very obvious reason for this, but it's just this is a consumer of programmable speakers. One of the only time I have ever seen programmable speakers get used as an ingredient for something else. It can see there's the thing. We are immune. Yeah, the ore processing, the Pyraw ores techs will often, at green science in particular, unlock certain things that will give you a byproduct that you can't make any use of until you get an additional tech after it, the next level of the tech. So you have to end up not going and using all of the things that you unlock in that particular tech, and it's trying to trick you into using all. If you're only ever doing all of the things that the tech unlock, you're not actually doing things in the most efficient way. And it's designed to be like that. It's designed to have some elements that are not actually efficient methods that become available to you, that don't really become efficient until later on, where it's like, okay, I'm going to have to set this up later, but for now, it's better to just stop at grade 4 with titanium. Just stop at grade 4. Don't go further than grade 4, because otherwise you are wasting by having to void the stage 3 pulp. But it is very worth processing that grade 3 pulp once you're able to process it at the next tech level. And there's plenty of places where it's like, oh, if only I had this next tech and could make use of this thing in a more efficient way. Alright, I am here at the mall. Why are you not... Oh. Duh. Here I am trying to limit the number of caged Corlex that I'm producing, but it just doesn't work like that. I need to have like a few thingies open for that. You're somehow not getting studs. Oh, sea sponge sprouts. Oh, I might... Gee, it would be great if I actually had a off an output on all of these. It would be great if these actually were able to output these buildings that have been existing here. Yeah, it would be great if they were able to actually output their stuff. You know, half of my potential production has just been sitting and doing nothing this whole time. And yes, it should titanium in particular at the Green Science Tech only give you access to the specific recipes of grade 4 and then push the other processing of grade 4 into blue. Well, then blue would unlock a absolute ton of stuff and just no. No. No, I don't see that because then you're never going to do the processing of molten grade 4 or molten enriched titanium, whatever the grade 4 is processing into that you then do into the molten. It gives you access at Green Science to a molten titanium. And molten titanium could eventually be used in the niobium titanium alloy. But are you really going to use the molten there? No. Not at Green Science. So it's just, do you want molten or do you not want the molten at Green with titanium? It gives you the option, and in this case, the option to choose would be to not do the molten because it's not as efficient, but you have to make that determination, right? You have to do that research, look into it, and then see. Otherwise, if you just assume that the molten recipe is going to always be better, you've been tricked. Which, again, Pynodon has said that that is the intent. It is completely intended to have situations that break an assumption. No, a molten recipe will not always be better at every stage of the game that you have access to a molten recipe. Alright, I am just not doing anything right now. I wanted to look at the Yotoi breeding program, which would give us Mark II aloe. Okay. Alright, so the aloe will take Mark II seeds now and make 2 Yotoi aloes. So that's this recipe now. It will take 5 Mark II seeds with pure sand, biomass, and liquid manure to make 2 aloe out. Alright, that part looks fine. How do we make the seeds? Oh. Please. Please, game. Yotoi Seed Mark II. We have now updated. So, Yotoi Seed Mark II is the product of a fruit Mark II with liquid nitrogen. Okay, I can see now. I see the expense here already. All right, so we've got that. That's not great. Um, one makes three with two biomass, so we also have to deal with biomass. All right, so how then? And then of course the five into two with the liquid manure. So yay. How do we get the Mark II fruit? Oh boy.